coming.
That's how we're going to start.
We're live. No, not going to say that. I said it's coming, and I know Graham's going to say that's the name of your sex tape. No. So welcome everybody. Welcome everybody to, this is different. Welcome to Choice, Change and Action podcast. We are doing the first one live here on YouTube. How does it get any better than that? So we're just like so on the edge, so cutting edge, so creative. I know it's been done before, but anyway, I have a Money Done Different class coming up, which is a class I do through Access Consciousness. And so on the sidelines and behind the scenes, I've had a lot of different conversations with people from, there's a wonderful woman, Kamal, in India, and she pinged me and said, I just got to give you this feedback. Every time I'm talking to people in India about this class, Money Done Different, she said it's like they want to leave the room or just turn away and like not actually acknowledge it or listen to it or see what's on offer. And yet they all complain about money. And I said to her, I know, but if people actually got free of their money stuff, then they'd have to start looking at what possibilities are available. So, I mean, even as I'm saying this, if you're listening to this, wherever you are in the world, have a look around you. What are you surrounded by? People who have all the money they desire and there's never never a concern about money? Or are you surrounded by people? Here's the interesting thing. No matter how much money they have, they always have a concern. Because I noticed when I had like no money, absolutely in debt, and had to, hustle to get my rent each week, that was a certain energy. I knew how to hustle, how to get rent paid. And that was my main concern for the week. And once rent was paid, then there was a different possibility available. I had like 4 or 5 days of, freedom and spending way too much money. But now, I mean, I own my house, I have investments, I have all of the, blah, 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 you could go on. But I still have money stuff show up in my world. So with using Access Consciousness tools, I become really aware that I have these tools showing up in my world, and what can I be and what else is possible, so that, because I've got bigger things that I want to create now, bigger things that I want to invest in, bigger changes that I'd like to make, rather than just, woohoo, I made rent this week, my life has changed a lot. But money stuff still comes up, and people still, I don't care how much money you have, they're just like, la, 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 la. So I'm wondering, like, I don't know if I'm insane. Yes, don't answer that. Delusional. I know I am. Money Done Different is such a different concept, because I would like people to have a look at, what is money different? How is money different for you personally? And what would you like to create? Just because your brother or your sister or your next door neighbor wants a brand new car or wants to travel around the world, it doesn't mean you do. You might desire something completely different. So for me, that Money Done Different also starts with planting that seed and really being acknowledging and trusting yourself. What are you asking for? And then we get to create a different reality with money. So Kelly Pringle and Graeme Crosskill, thank you for joining me here from South Africa, both of you in South Africa. And yeah, that's Kelly. You're Graeme. And Graeme, I've worked with for ages. Adore you, man. You've got one of the best sense of humors that I've ever traveled with. I love it. Travel buddy, but now you've quit traveling on me, so that's a whole other thing. But we'll discuss that later.
Okay.
And Kelly is taking lead on this class. So we were talking and said, let's do a live and let's put this on my podcast and start asking some questions and just cover some topics here about money. So, nothing planned here, but I just asked these guys to come on and let's have a chat. Like, what's up, or what questions do you guys have, or where are you guys at with money? How do you perceive it right now, where you are in your life?
Go, Kelly.
Me and Graeme are actually talking about this the other day, and sometimes I go through phases where I'm like really scrunched up with money, and it's like, and then sometimes it's like totally easy and flowing. And it seems like when I don't think about it too much, that's actually when it's like super relaxing, super calm, super peaceful. for me. I still definitely like go down. And I've been doing my 10%. This is something I'm so proud of myself for. Like I've been doing my 10% for so many years. And it's such a magical thing. So yeah, I try not to think about money too much, actually. And that seems to give me like a sense of peace. And then also sometimes I think about, sometimes I wonder, like, maybe I should be thinking about it more.
No, let's address this, because everything you just said is very typical. Like, I mean, you're very different. Like you're just like, oh, it's the same as everyone else. No, but here's the thing. It's like the way you said that, I get scrunched up about money. And if you're listening to us later, we're doing actions. We're like pretending to scrunch ourselves into balls, okay? The reality is, Kelly, that's not your reality. Like, it's not you. And when you say you don't think about it, like, why do we have to think about money rather than be aware of it? You know, one of the things that we talk about in Access Consciousness is you're thinking, you're stinking. And people will do this thing of going, oh, let me think about it. Let me try and work it out. Like, you know, let me work out the pros and cons. Like, there's so many traps that will create a lack in your world, rather than when you just spoke, you could just perceive your whole body and your whole being just going, oh, when I don't think about it, I have more ease, I have more space. It's that simple. It's not complicated. Like, it's not like that only happens on a full moon, you know, when I'm patting my head and stomping my left leg and blinking with my right eye or something like that. That can occur 24/7 when we choose that. So my thing here too, I would be like, every time you have that sense of space, that's you. Every time you don't, not your reality. And one of the tools that we talk about in Access Consciousness is, who does this belong to, and is this mine? So, because we pick up on everybody's stuff. Like, I mean, Jesus, you know, like your phones, your computers, if you happen to glance at the news, like, why would you watch it? There's so much noise. Yeah. Now, if you're listening to this now, just look at the energy with myself, Kelly, and Graeme, and we're talking about this, and let's be this ease. And the mantra of Access Consciousness is, all of life comes to us with ease and joy and glory, and we be this ease with money. We allow the joy of money, right, and glory, the exuberant expression of, you know, of the exuberant expression of joy and glorious and all of that and more. That's our reality. Now indulge just for a second. You turn the news on. Let's do mainstream media. You get lost scrolling on your phone, and your algorithms got caught into, you know, some deep dark hole of what the politicians are doing and the finances in your country and what they're not doing, and, you know, how there's, like, you know, raping and pillaging of some, you know, government funding, and how someone's missing out and all of that. So look at the energy of that, and it starts seducing you, like it starts sucking you into this rabbit hole. Yeah. So if you're listening to this, my suggestion is fucking stop being sucked down the rabbit hole. You know, it's not your reality. It doesn't have to be. What if everything, that whole noise, and it's just noise, it's like, what if that was just an interesting point of view? You know, this is a little bit off thing. This is very funny guy that I follow on Instagram. He's a French actor. I can never remember his name. He just pops up every now and then. He did this funny skit about relationships, and he was talking about, you know, hundreds of years ago, you know, you'd grow up in this village and you'd meet this woman and she'd be beautiful, and you'd be like, oh my God, I'm with the most beautiful woman in the village. Like, this is incredible. And every day you'd be like, wow, I'm so grateful that I have this woman and I'm treating her like a princess, and, you know, she's just stunning and she's wonderful and da. But nowadays, it's like, then you go on Instagram, you go on social media, and you're like, damn, look how many beautiful women are out there. This is not the most beautiful woman in the world. There's like all the, you know, but it's just this noise that's out there. And it's the same thing with money. It's the same thing with businesses. It's the same thing with your body, all of it. So let's do something. All the noise that is contributing to you not choosing, and you creating the place where so many things matter when they don't matter, and it's not relevant, where you destroy and uncreate it times a godzillion. Right, wrong, good, bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, probates, creation, spaces, and beyond. And that's the Access Consciousness clearing statement. So, and you can go to theclearingstatement.com, and maybe our wonderful, amazing Anna Marie on the back end is going to put that link there. theclearingstatement.com, and you can find out more with myself and Dr. Dane here talking about how that clearing statement works. But it's friggin' amazing because you don't have to have that noise as a reality. So if you look at what Kelly's talking about in regards to money and saying sometimes she does that contracted thing, you can literally just go, okay, everywhere I'm contracting myself, pock and pod, not my reality. Like, you get to choose. That is one of our greatest potencies. We get to choose. So you can wake up and you can choose unhappy, you can choose doubt, you can choose frustration, you can choose judgment, or you can wake up and go, fuck this. I'm choosing everything that I be today, even if I have no idea how this is going to show up. I'm choosing more of me, and I'm choosing more of everything. I'm choosing ease. You know, let's just start with ease. Like the mantra, I love it. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. I'm not saying you got to do all three. Let's start with ease.
One step at a time.
One step at a time, you know? Yeah. So Graeme, what do you like with money at the moment? What's happening in your world?
Yeah. Look, I showed up to Access because I thought I had a money problem. And I just wanted to solve that. You know, it's been my big thorn in my side, and it's getting better and better all the time now. But what I've noticed is that when I'm trusting myself and I'm trusting the universe, and I know that, the way I like to put it is I've got this and I'm safe in my place, it's great. You know, but as soon as I start losing that trust and I'm shit, now I'm going to start worrying. What about this? What about that? It's really interesting because I have this ability to make everything that's coming in the future disappear, and as if it doesn't even exist. And so I have to get myself present again and just be like, okay, but what's really going on? And then I go oh, wow, man, I'm on this, I'm doing that, I've got this coming up, and it's all goes away. So that for me, it's just really building a bigger universe of trust is where I'm at with myself and money at the moment. Yeah.
I love that you mentioned trust too, because trust is a really big topic too, because so often we don't trust ourselves. We trust other people. We'll go, what do you think about this? You know, rather than, well, what do you know? And even if I'm not saying don't ask other people, because one of my favorite things, I work closely with Graeme, is extrapolating. You know, even yesterday I rang him and was like, can you help me? Because I need to choose something, but I like when somebody will ask me a question or they'll throw in something else. So there's a difference of when you have people that you can extrapolate with and you are asking questions. And the way I look at it is you're asking questions and seeing what pings, you go, oh, this, and you pull all that in. And then even Graeme asked me a question yesterday and it sort of went, and then we need to ask a different question. Okay, what's the different question? And it doesn't take long, having someone that you can be that with. And yet trusting you is one of the things that most people will not do.
Yeah.
So how many of you don't trust you and you're looking outside of you for something? And everything at that is times a Godzillion where you destroy and uncreate it. All right, wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all 100, shorts, boys, proverts, creations, bases, and beyonds. So I was just recently watching, and I know you were on it too, Graeme, Being New class that Dr. Dane here did in India. It was so good. He's so amazing. Can we just have a yay? Dane's incredible.
Next level. Yeah.
He's amazing. And one of the things he said, though, which I found just a really interesting tool. So let's do this right now. I want you to have a look at whatever country you're in, the currency, etc., like that. Get the equivalent to about $1,000 and picture having this in your hand. Okay. Okay. So now that's in your hand. You wake up in the morning and you make everything about that money, that cash that's in your hand. Okay. That is now the source of your day. Okay. This is what rules you. This is what determines how you choose. Okay. Right now, times it by 10. Okay, so now you've got, $1,000. 10,000. Easy math, Simone. Easy math.
Australian math.
And that's it. Now you've got 9,000. Work that one out, kids. No.
Taxes.
Somebody, that's great. I love it. Yes. That's a whole other topic. So now you've got that money in your hand. It's now 9,000. Actually, it's now 7,000 because of taxes, right? Got that in your hand. But everything you choose today is determined by that money in your hand. Nothing else. Nothing else. You only determine your choices by this money. How many of you are making money the source of your choices and the source of your reality rather than you, the source of your choices and the source of your reality? And everything at that is time to Godzilla, we destroy and uncreate it.
Yeah.
Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, proverts, creations, spaces, and beyonds. There's so many times I hear people go, once I have this, then I'll be happy. I'm like, that's the biggest lie that you tell yourself all the time. It's all the lies that you're buying that money's going to give you happiness. It doesn't. Trust me, it doesn't. There's so many things that I ended up, purchasing or having with money, and I'm very grateful and I enjoy it. But that's not the source of my happiness. I just slept the whole night last night. I'm happy. It's like what sleep gives you is amazing. But that's the thing. It's like, who or what are you making the source of your reality rather than you being the source? And then you invite money into your life. And as you invite money into your life too, you can have this money here and you go, hey, what would we like to create today? It's like, what would it take to have money, and ask the money to create magic for you? How many of you are asking money to create magic for you and to be in total chaos? Okay. So one of the things the way Graeme was talking to is saying like the trust. Sometimes people do this like control with trust because you trust what you know. Like you trust, say, your house that you're in, you trust these walls, you trust what's in there, you can sort of let your barriers down. But what if you allowed some chaos to come in, and no matter where you are in the world, no matter where you go, there's this element of chaos and trust that you will know. You will know what to choose and when to choose. Everything at that is time to Godzilla, we destroy and create it. Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, proverts, creations, spaces, and beyond.
I was I had a meeting with someone today, and they had such a beautiful way of like explaining like building trust. And they were said it's like, when a baby gets born, they come out into the world, and it's like almost a little bit like traumatizing. They're like, what the fuck's going on? Like, wow. And that moment where, so they come out and they're like not really trusting the environment in a way. And then if a mother then takes them and then just holds them, and over time, like it takes some time, like the baby will still like kind of like jitter and scream, but then they slowly learn to realize that, wow, they can actually trust where they are. There's people that have got their back, that kind of like in that sense. And he was explaining to me like, yeah, this is one of the ways that when you come from like an environment that you haven't been able to trust, and this is like how you can start really developing trust. We're realizing like, yeah, there's going to be moments when you go, but if you keep just building that trust in yourself, and what I liked what you said earlier, it's more also like acknowledging that you're the source of everything.
Yeah.
And strengthening that, and not going into doubt when, maybe there's things that come up, but keep strengthening the source, strengthening the trust. It's like that moment where it just kind of like you become to embody it, which, it was a really cool way of looking at that.
Well, it's funny you mentioned the doubt thing too. I was talking to someone this morning about doubt, and it's like every time doubt shows up, have a look. What do you choose? So if you have doubt in your world, right, and we're talking about money, so let's look at doubt of money. Most people will go to separation. They will go to, I've got to work it out. I've got to think about it. I've got to, and it's like there's nowhere in there that you are functioning from your infinite beingness as being aware. What do I know about this? Like even asking the question like, will this work, etc. It's like there's so many. It's like, so how many of you are going to doubt so that you can control what doesn't show up? And everything at that is time to Godzilla, we destroy and uncreate it. Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, proverts, creations, space, and beyond. Yeah.
Yeah, what I was going to ask is like, and this is just purely just from your awareness and your experience over the many years that you've been facilitating and building businesses and all that. It's like, have you ever found, like, what I've noticed is I'll go to like, okay, what are the ways I can now make more money? Like, what are the ways I can now, bring an income in, and how that actually creates even more stress. So do you have like, yeah, can you talk a little bit about that and unpack that?
Well, okay, so if you're going, how many other ways can I make, like, even the way you said it, it's like how much of there is the point of view that it's like it has to have a timeline, or it has to, you have to create the answer or find the solution to something. What if we never had to find an answer and never had to find a solution, but we were always in question? Here's the thing. There is so much hard work in going, like, how do I create more money? How do I do this? Da, 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 da. Like, because it takes up a lot of it literally takes up your space. It takes up your ease, like that energy that Kelly was talking about right at the beginning. It takes up that. So it gives some meaning. It gives the significance. It gives the relevance. It makes you the same as everybody else. It makes your days predictable because you can judge, you can have these limitations and all of that and more, right? So, and you may get somewhere. You may come up with some different revenue streams and you may choose them, but you're going to choose them from struggling and finding an answer and a solution rather than literally. This is the question I'd love you guys to ask every single day. How many more revenue streams can I receive today? And
I
then
love that you put receiving on there as well. It's like,
yeah. And what can I do and be what can I do and be today that would allow more money to show up with ease? And everything at that is times a gazillion, right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100 shorts, boys, perverts, creations, bases, and beyonds. Those two questions, right? Ask those two questions daily and just live, okay? Live. So when you ask questions, now what are you going to choose? It's like, okay, I'm going to make some coffee, or I'm going to, go for a walk on the beach, or I'm going to call someone. Because when you're being questioned and you're not in this struggle, then you'll start to follow the energy. You'll let consciousness lead you, and you have no idea what's going to show up. Like, say if you get on a plane and you're doing the energy of like what Graeme, like, I've got to find more money, I've got to do this, da, da, da. So you get on the plane and you're sitting there and your head's like, and maybe you're on your computer and you're, stressing because you can't get Wi-Fi or something. I don't know, like, or you get on the plane, you ask those questions and you sit down and you just go, hi, and say hi to the person next to you. You have no idea who that person is, right? It's like you have no idea what that engagement is going to create. Go to a coffee shop, have a coffee, start chatting to someone. Like, I really do think we have lost the art of engagement. And when you engage with people, even your friends, like, so Kelly, but what if you rang her up and just went, hey, let's ask about some possibilities for more revenue or money to show up? And she might be, you know what, I was driving past this farm the other day and I saw blah, blah, blah. Because you start to have these conversations and it opens up this space rather than shuts it down and contracts. Like, what if we started opening up to a different space, which is total chaos?
Yeah. And it's like, that's what you said earlier. Like, the thing that we tend to do is go into separation. And that's exactly like cutting off from engagement is exactly what's the separation. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. But you know what? I've been thinking about going to South Africa. So just because you're not traveling with me anymore, I think you guys were pulling me to South Africa. So can we please have more access stuff happening in South Africa so I can come to a class?
It's because you got to come travel with me now. You see, that's the thing. That's what's happening.
I love South Africa. It's one of my favorite places in the world. It's so unique. It's talk about different. That's the thing though. Talk about different. Like, how many of you are willing to be different with money? Did you see how I did that? I didn't realize I did that. Money done different, eh?
Yeah, it's a great question. And it's actually a really, really good question. And one of like what you were saying earlier as well is where, so like, having our own reality with money and having something different with money, and it builds onto what we're saying also. Like, if you don't trust yourself, then you're seeking outside of you all the time, and that's when you get caught into this, like, all the Instagram hype and the what's it, the hustle hype and all of that kind of stuff. And then, but all that stuff is doing is like telling you how wrong you are and what you're not doing. And what I love about what you talk about a lot with, especially with money done different and business done different, it's like your being. Like, and it's also about what acknowledging what you are doing that's working. It's not just about what you're not doing.
And interesting how you said about that, like with all like the noise, like how you were referring to that too, and saying like, what if when you listen or watch anything, what if it reinforces who and what you are? And what do I mean by that? If you are in judgment or you're in doubt of you, then it's going to reinforce that. But if you actually wake up each day and go, fuck yeah, I get to wake up and be me. Like I am a magical, miraculous being. Then it can also reinforce that. You watch the noise and you're like, wow, that's just an interesting point of view. Interesting how people choose to live like that. That's not my choice, not my reality. I'm going to have ease with everything that I choose. And when I say that, I know that the world is not rainbows and unicorns every day. You got to have sun and rain to make a rainbow, right? It's like, but what if no matter what shows up, it's not this like struggle and this stress. It's like, okay, how am I going to handle this? When you become more of you and you be you, you know how to handle it. You know how to handle it yourself, or you know who to ask for help. Like asking for help is not a bad thing. It's like, ask for help. Hey, can you help me with this? It's like then you will start including the entirety of the universe in everything that you choose, because that's what we're here for. Like I was on a safari quite a few years ago in South Africa, and the guy said to me, it's interesting how many people he takes out on safari and they'll sit on the car and they'll watch, like they'll observe, but they will not acknowledge that they are a part of the ecosystem. And I'll never forget that conversation, because it's like, we are a part of the ecosystem. We are a part of the animals and the land out there. We are a part of everything that goes on. So are you going to feed the noise? Or are you going to feed the ease, joy, and glory? Are you going to be the one that chooses something different? Like, put your big girl, big boy pants on and just go, I'm not choosing the same as everybody else because it's predictable. I'm choosing different, and I'm going to choose different with money. Let me show you. Watch this space.
And nature is such a good way to also like learn from, talking about now, we had that huge storm here, and like I literally have no fences at the moment, no more trees. They're literally on the other side of the world. But the horses right here, they were like, yeah, that's cool. They were eating in their house, chilled. We had 130-kilometer winds.
Wow.
It was, and they were so calm. And it's like, what if we could be that with money as well?
Yeah. Wow. That's money done different. Being calm with money.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. All right. One more thing, Kelly. You mentioned right at the beginning that you're doing your 10% account. Can you just give a brief description to everyone what that 10% account is?
Yes. And so the 10% account is probably one of the first things that I ever like really implemented when I first started learning about Access, because it was something that was so practical, and I was like, yes, I can do this. So it's actually, which is an aspect of it that I didn't really get until quite a few years down the line. So it's basically putting 10% or whatever percentage like you can away of every single cent that comes in as an honoring of you. And when I got that piece, and it was like, wow, and I actually wanted to, as we're having this conversation, the sense of intimacy, which includes honoring and trust and gratitude, is so beautiful. So that's really been a way that I've gotten to be so grateful for myself and to be able to trust myself and like have the sense of honoring with myself. And I think one of the things behind it is like at some point you'll get to a stage where you look at your 10% account and it just creates a sense of peace and calm. for you. Like,
Yeah.
it's absolutely, it's so cool. And it's like such a cool acknowledgement. Like, fuck, I did that, you know, like I chose that. So yeah.
I love that. Thank you. And it's so I hated that tool when I first heard about it. I thought it was the most stupid, dumbest tool in the world. And I was using Access Consciousness tools and they were working. And I was like, my God, this is amazing, you know, in every area of my life and having like really big changes. Just simply, the first thing was asking questions because I'd spent my whole life trying to find an answer and working everything out like daily, you know, working out my day daily, like controlling it all. And then now it was like ask questions. And I actually always loved in history studying Socrates, and Socrates always spoke about being in question too. So I was like, oh, what is this, you know? And I started to play with it. And then I knew that I was creating myself to be a financial mess. And the tool of 10% account, like I said, I hated it, but I went, I need to do something different because what I'm doing is not working. So I also started the 10% account and putting like, you know, $10 from every $100 away, all of that. And I set myself this target for 3 months. And to be honest, I had a back door. I thought at the end of 3 months, I'm going to go, see, that didn't work. See, I can dismiss that tool. I can give myself permission to dismiss that tool and I can let it go and spend the money, right? And I thought, worst case scenario, I'm just saving up money. But after 3 months, I had to look at where I was at. And I went, holy shit, exactly what you said, Kelly. I had this sense of peace with money that I had never had before. And I went, oh, I think there's more in this tool than I've been willing to acknowledge. So ever since then, I've been using I do my 10% account and I love it. Absolutely love it. So yeah, Graeme, do you have your 10% account on the spot?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
And same thing. What's it created for you?
Yeah, you know, like the other day, actually, well, a few months ago, one thing I really noticed is I was in a freak out with money, and then I actually went to my doc and I looked at what I actually have in my 10% account, and I was like, fuck, I could get away with a few months pretty easily and not have to worry.
Yes, that's the thing that I looked at when I remember going, oh, I could live for 3 months and not have to hustle getting rent. Like that was literally what gave me this sense of peace. So, okay, let's talk about this for 1 second before we finish off. Is right at the beginning of this live, this podcast, everything, I said most people don't want to change their money stuff because if they change their money stuff, they'd have to start looking at what possibilities are available. And everything that the three of us have just mentioned with that one tool of using a, you know, choosing a 10% account, that sense of peace and ease, now you go, oh, now what am I going to put my attention on? Now where am I going to put my energy? Oh, you know what? I can actually be calm and I can start asking for more possibilities to show up. And that's the magic. That's the miracles. That's the chaos of receiving something different and something more than controlling what you don't have. Really big difference in how you choose and what you choose. So that's what we're inviting you to in all of Access Consciousness. And in particular, I have this class coming up called Money Done Different, which we just changed the dates. So the dates, anyone have them?
Yeah, 28, 29, 30, 31 May.
Oh, cool.
I was going to say, a very, very good time for most parts of the world.
Yeah. Yeah, it's my afternoon, so it's great for you. Anyway, it's good. You know what? What else do you want to be doing at midnight if you're living in Mexico? Hey?
Okay.
They're awake anyway. So.
Exactly. So you can go to SimoneMilasas.com/MDD. So Kelly, Graeme, is there anything else that you would like to reference today, comment, Dave, etc.?
Like I said earlier, you know, like I came to Access because of money, and I would have loved to have actually got to the point earlier where it's actually be you rather than fix money.
Yeah.
That would have been like a great point. And that really changed in the first MDD class. Like it really hit home there. So yeah, that's one thing I would like to.
Let's put a shout out to, and we'll put it in the show notes of the podcast, is the guy that we work with, my friend, Dr. Dane here. He wrote a book many, many years ago called Being You, Changing the World. it's gold. And it's on Audible as well. You can get on Amazon, etc. But even like Graeme said, if you just start with being you, and then you can actually have more clarity, like, and not from conclusion, but clarity from, yeah, what brings me joy? What would I like to choose with every area of your life, not just money? Like, stop making life about money. What if you made it about ease, joy, and glory? All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. That's different. Kelly, anything else you want to add?
Well, me and Graeme were actually talking about this class the other day and just had the sense of like this huge possibility of what we can change, not just for ourselves personally, also including that, but like for the world and for the universe and everything. So, yeah.
We've got the whole world in our hands and the universe, see?
I thought it was 1,000. Now it's the whole world. Yes.
Well, it's the world. It's the universe, Graeme. It's the universe. Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for if you are watching live, or this is the first time I've done a podcast live on my YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, you obviously know I have a YouTube channel. If you do not, I'd like to invite you to come subscribe to the YouTube channel. So, Simone Milasas, follow me on Instagram, etc. I have a great name for all of this because there is no other Simone Milasas in the world. There's just me. So you Google that, it's like you'll find everything. Website, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of it. I know I don't have the Jane Smith. It's Simone Milasas. And I'm very proud of that from my father. Lithuanian name. So there you go. So thank you so much, guys. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
And come play with Money Done Different. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.